Good morning, children. Today in our class, we'll revise the summary and new words of the poem Dust of Snow. Apart from the revision, we also learned the central idea of the poem, poetic devices used in the poem, and thinking about the poem. Thinking about the poem is nothing but the question and answers given in the textbook. So now I will take you to the central idea of poem. The Dust of Snow, written by Robert Frost, is a small and simple poem with a deep meaning. It expresses the significance of small things in changing one's attitude. The poem explains that the little things in life can make huge changes in our future. It also reflects that hard times in the life will lead to the happier times if we can persist with it. So the central idea of the theme is depends on 2 points. The first point is a very insignificant or little things in life, sometimes they make huge changes in our future. This is one point. And the second point is whatever negative happens in the life is for the benefit of our future. So hard times are not permanent, and these hard times in life are going to lead us to the happier times. We will learn very beautiful and strong lessons from this hard time. So we need to face all these hard times or negative issues, whatever happens in our life, and we need to win the race. This is the central theme of the poem. So central theme of the poem is based on 2 main points. Once again I am repeating. The first one is little things, insignificant things which happens in life can make huge change in our future. And another point, hard times are not permanent, and hard times are negative things, whatever happens in life are for the benefit of our life. They will lead to the happier times if we persist and if we fight with them. And the poetic devices used in the poem. Poet has used 3 types of poetic devices in this. The first one is rhyme scheme, second is symbolism, and third one is irony. Rhyme scheme, as I explained you in the lesson, the last word, the way we pronounce will define the rhyme scheme, and here the rhyme scheme of each stanza is AB, AB. That means first line and word and third line and word pronunciation ends with the same, and the third and fourth line ends with the same. Symbolism. Here a poet had used hemlock tree and crow to signify the negativity in one's life or one's day. So negativity was symbolized by using hemlock tree and crow. And another important poetic device used by our Robert Frost is irony. This is very, very important. Irony is nothing but an expression which in reality says something, but the expectation or the result is different. It is a contrast between reality and expectation. I mean to say, what you say is not what you meant. Both are different. For example, you may use some beautiful words to comment others. When you just take the meaning of the words what you had used, that is very positive, but the way you express those words may give you a negative impression. So that is called the irony of the poem. So you have to understand what is the irony in this poem. Now coming to the question and answers, thinking about the poem. What is the dust of snow? What does the poet say has changed his mood? How has the poet's mood changed? The first one, what is the dust of snow? Dust of snow means the fine particles of flakes of snow. And what does the poet say has changed his mood? The sudden shower, the sudden fall of the dust of snow on the poet has changed his mood. And how has the poet's mood changed? His mood has changed from sadness to happiness. The transformation from sorrow to joy had happened because of this particular activity. Now going to the question number 2. In question number 2, we have 3 sub-questions. So mainly, the main question is, how does Frost present nature in this poem? And the sub-questions are there to support this particular argument. As I mentioned to you, Robert Frost always takes nature as the main poetic themes. So, the first sub question is, what are the birds that are usually named in poems? Do you think crow is often mentioned in poems? What images come to your mind when you think of a crow? So generally in poems, whenever you read about other poems, they take beautiful words, beautiful birds are the birds which can sing very beautifully, like a peacock, parrot, cuckoo and all as examples. Crow is a very rarely mentioned bird. So when we think of a crow, what comes to our mind? When we think of a crow, generally crow is an ugly creature. We represent it, and it has a very harsh voice. So it brings a depressing and sorrowful picture into our mind. And the second sub question again, what is a hemlock tree? Why doesn't the poet write about more beautiful tree such as maple or an oak or a pine? So in this world there are many beautiful trees. So why poet had taken only hemlock tree instead of taking example of a maple or an oak tree? I mean, he can say that the poet was passing the maple tree, or the poet was sitting under a maple tree. Instead of that, why did he take an abnormal tree which is named as hemlock tree? So for that, the answer should be, a hemlock tree is a poisonous plant with small white flowers. He didn't choose to use an oak, maple or pine tree because he wanted to tell the negativity of the poet's mindset. He chose the hemlock tree and left all the beautiful trees present in the world because he wanted to represent the negative mood and feelings of the poet. Now going to the third sub question. What do the crow and hemlock represent? Joy or sorrow? What does the dust of snow that the crow shakes off a hemlock tree stand for? So as I mentioned earlier also, the crow and hemlock tree represent sorrow and depression felt by the poet, and dust of snow is the symbol of natural joy and energy. Now moving on to the next question, which is a value based question you have to write on your own, but for your convenience I have given an example answer. It should not be used as your answer. You have to write your own experience. Have there been times when you felt depressed and hopeless? Have you experienced a similar moment that changed your mood that day? In our life, we have so many moments where we are very sad, depressed and hopeless. So we definitely will have an experience like our poets, which one changed our mood for that particular day. It may not be a big change or big miracle which changed the complete life, but it can be a small mood change. Go through the answer which I gave as an example. And now coming to the home task. I want everybody to take out the writing skills and write today's date, index, dust of snow, new words, whichever I have given in this PDF. You need to see and copy that. And central idea of the poem as it is, you have to copy from the PDF. Poetic devices used in the poem. This is also you need to copy from the PDF. Do not write in on your own. Okay, just copy it. But the question number 3 should be your own experience. You should not copy that from this. Okay, thank you children.